Satoru Gojo is one of those dudes that you can never leave with your girl under any circumstances. I don't care if you guys have been together for 5, 10, 20 years, it does not matter. If you, your girl, and Gojo go out to eat, you better have your eyes glued to that man. Matter of fact, it won't even matter. Because watch, I'm telling you, you're gonna be mid-body your sandwich and he's gonna hit you with that domain expansion. Because next thing you know it, you're staring off mindlessly into the void and he's giving a one-on-one tour to your girl at the Sorcerer's Academy. I like to think that Gojo is one of those dudes that manages to perfectly encapsulate the art of having absolutely broken powers, but also being the sexiest motherfucker in the room at the same time. Another person being Dio, but that's another video for another day. Now as a man, I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna say this. I don't think there are too many beings on this planet that could resist Gojo. And can you blame him? Like, I can understand somebody falling under the spell of that chiseled jaw and that silver silky hair and that charming smile and those mesmerizing eyes. My bad. Anyways, now if you've read the title, you know that this man is just more than a pretty boy. This man can throw hands. And matter of fact, it would I was about to say, matter of fact, it would be wrong for me to say throw hands, but no, he can throw hands, you feel me? Gojo's one of those dudes who's very well-rounded in how he beats a nigga's ass. For a lot of guys who are saying that they wouldn't let Gojo take their girl, I can understand it, and I can believe you. You're probably thinking right now, if he's gonna take my girl, it's probably gonna be for my cold dead hands. And honestly, it won't be that hard for him. One hollow purple and you're cooked, along with the rest of your city block. Matter of fact, if the ass beating that he gave to Jogo is any indication, he wouldn't even need to do a hollow purple. He wouldn't even need to do red or blue. Matter of fact, just an old-fashioned butt kicking. That's it. Speaking of Jogo, the ass whooping that he got in that anime was absolutely absurd. Funny thing about it, I don't even think the ass kicking was really the most disrespectful part. The most disrespectful part was when Gojo let Jogo test out his limitless. That was disrespectful. Yeah, just come over here and make this realization for yourself that you have no chance in beating me. It's so funny because at times, Jujutsu Kaisen feels like propaganda specifically for Gojo. Like, can somebody explain to me why the narrator is in my ear 24/7 telling me that Gojo has a 12-incher packed underneath those Omiri jeans? Like, I'm not saying I don't believe him, but I'm just saying, holy shit. Like, okay, we get it. This man barely uses any curse energy. This man has an amazing healing factor. This man can last 4 hours in bed. Good for him. But you know what? With all of that being said, I will say, this is one of the reasons why Gojo is one of my favorite characters in all of anime. If you're not fully caught up with the manga, I'ma just let you know ahead of time that this next part is a spoiler warning. But even though this man really did lose to Sukuna, I will say that the way he was hyped up was so much crazier than they hyped up Sukuna or anybody else I've ever seen in anime. Well, except for like Overlord maybe, but like this man Gojo seemed impossible to beat. Like, let's think about this for a second, right? This man trained his limitless to always be proactively working to the point where nobody could ever touch him ever. That coupled with his healing ability, did this man just casually say that he's immortal now? Now, obviously he wasn't immortal because he got cut in half like a perfectly sliced lunch sandwich, but if he wasn't killed though, can you imagine how long that man would have lived? Like, you just know a character is OP and broken when the series creator tries to explain exactly how his powers work, and you're just sitting there more confused than you were before he started talking. Okay, yeah, all right, I'm still following. Yeah, okay, it's not that complicated to understand. I know some of these words. Can you imagine a world in which Gojo decided that he wanted to be a bad guy? No, but seriously, the way that Gojo was willing to humiliate anybody who was standing in his path, honestly, I feel as if Sukuna probably did a lot of people a favor. Like, bro, we cannot forget the way that this man died. And I don't want to hear none of the technicalities about how he technically did this in order to avoid dying. That man was dead. Look at him. Like, that man came back after Toji secured the bag like he done lost all his marbles. And then he proceeds to start getting higher on life, talking about how he's the chosen one, yada, yada, yada. Oh, boom, purple. Barely even gave us enough time to understand what was going on before he turned Toji into a whole donut. I thought Ace getting turned into a donut looked bad, but nah, this was even worse. Like, Toji, don't do that. Stop. Now, for anybody who's actually watching this video and you haven't actually seen the show for yourself or read the manga, I would like to preference to you that I'm not just straight glazing right now. You gotta understand that even in this series, they talk about Gojo's birth like this was the second coming of Christ. Like, literally talking about how his birth shifted the whole landscape of the jujitsu world. Like, oh my god, clean your mouth when you're done. Like, what the fuck? I love it too because we really got a lot of moments where Gojo was shown to not be the one to play with, and I enjoyed every single second of it. Like I said, it did come to an end at one point, but every moment that we got to see throughout the series to show how strong he was really did a great job of showing that nobody could touch him or be on his level. And shit, I know that we could go on and argue all day about whether or not Sukuna is stronger than Gojo because he did beat him. I will say that in my opinion, in my humblest opinion, please do not leave your opinion in the comments just because you don't agree with me. In my humblest opinion, I still think Gojo is stronger. I'm sorry. I still think that Gojo is stronger. No, but seriously, it's crazy to think that even in the year of 2024, or I forgot if it was 2024 or 2023 that fight happened, but even in these recent years, we're still getting classic fights in anime because that's still in my top 5 for like fights of all time. And you know, I got a couple of fights of all time that I really like hold on to, like for instance, Majin Vegeta versus Goku is definitely in my top 5 for fights of all time in anime. And the way that this fight is really up there, I can't give it a specific number necessarily, but the fact that it's in my top 5 is crazy to believe. I love that fight so much. This is the part of the video where we wind down, but I will say that Gojo was an amazing character, man. Gojo was an amazing character. I loved how strong he was, and I love the way that they didn't shy away from the fact that he was strong. That was really cool. I feel like a lot of animes are scared to do that type of thing because it's easy to write yourself in a corner when you make a character so strong. We've seen what happened with Kaguya in Naruto. You know, when you make a character super strong, sometimes the way that you get rid of them can be kind of iffy and kind of messes up the story. So I can understand why in the end Gojo had to get they had to get rid of Gojo somehow, you know. If you enjoyed the video, then you know, go ahead, comment down below. I was joking earlier. If you want to go ahead and disagree with me on my opinion about whether or not Sukuna is stronger than Gojo, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel. I don't really got intros or outros, so I guess I'm out. Deuces.